Thank you for the visitation of the Holy Ghost. Just ask right now, God, that you allow us to feel a little bit of heaven here on earth. I said, just be still and know that I'm God. Just be still and know that I am God. Thank you for ushering us into another realm. I ask, Lord, that you remove me, decrease me, so that as I give this word, Lord, that you speak through me, that you use me. That you allow me to remove any mask or anything that has been hindering me from being the gift that you called me to be. I ask that you circumcise everybody's heart right now so that they can be sitting fully in your grace and in your mercy, in your love and in your power and in your anointing, in your healing, in your joy, in your peace, in your restoration. Because it with all those words that had R-E in the front, you did it one time and you can do it again and again and again and again. So we just thank you in advance for what you get ready to do. Say all these things to your son named Jesus Christ. Amen. I'd like to thank God and Bishop and my spouse Larry and this entire congregation for allowing me the opportunity to speak before you today. And I know some of you see me with this gift on my head, this headband. And before I get into the word, I was sitting there and God kept saying that we're all gifts. And He called us to be His son. But we need to do inventory about how well is our gift being presented. And I've damaged my gift throughout the years. This is not on. But God said you have to be truthful. And sometimes we get so stuck on what the package looks like on the outside that we forget about what the package really is on the inside. You have people tearing up the wrapping paper. I tore up my own wrapping paper. Oh, Lord, come on now. Come on. With self-medicating and saying things about myself that were not true and doing things that haven't been the best in keeping my wrapping paper all together. Because sometimes you feel like when you're a damaged package, that you don't have to do anything. Because you can sit in the corner. See, people ain't going to mess with you when you're a damaged package. But God kept telling me, you may think that you're a damaged package, and other people may see you as such, but I see you as restored over there. See, some people, including me, I thought as a package I was this piece of coal. But little did I know that I was really a diamond in the rough. And I had to be tumbled. And I had to be curated and shaken up. And all those other things had to come off of me. In order for me to see the beauty that's inside of me and others to see the same. So I am going to say today that the thought for today is how to be present. With the present, in the present. All right now. Let me say that one more time. How to be present with the present, in the present. See, during this holiday season, many people, they get so joyous just because it's the season, you know. But you should be joyous every season. Every day you should be rejoicing and being kind and loving and all that. But sometimes during this season too, we get so focused on material gifts and things that are going around us that hustle and bustle that we forget about the real gift. All right now. Because it's so easy to get distracted and stressed out and depressed and overwhelmed and getting all these material things and not thinking about the spiritual thing, which is the greatest present, which is love. For God so loved the world. Come on, son. Come on. He did. He only gave us 2 commandments. Love God with your whole heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And he said all those other things hinge on those, just those 2 commandments, based on love. They say that in the English language it's the hardest language to learn because we have so many synonyms. Words that's the same word that means so many other things. And if you notice, the thought of my sermon was about the word present was mentioned 3 different times. And they had 3 different meanings. I said how to be present, attentive, intentional, existing. Come on now. All right. With the present, the gift, the thing that is inside of you, the love. In the present, right now, at this moment. Right now. So I just need you to know how to exist with that gift right now in this moment. And that gift is love. Now let me go in this scripture here. I'm trying to, thank you, Lord, but I'm trying to get myself together. I'm all over the place here. The Lord is still speaking. Thank you, God. It's Acts chapter 20. Starting at verse 7. Acts chapter 7. I'm sorry, Acts chapter 20. Thank you. Starting with verse 7. We met on Sunday to worship and celebrate the Master's Supper, reading from the easy to read version of the Message version. Paul addressed the congregation. Our plan was to leave first thing in the morning, but Paul talked on way past midnight. We were there meeting in a well-lit upper room. A young man named Eutychus was sitting in an open window. And as Paul went on and on and on, Eutychus fell sound asleep and toppled out of the third floor window. When they picked him up, he was dead. Paul went down and stretched himself on him and hugged him hard, saying, "No more crying," he said. "There's life in him yet." Then Paul got up and served the Master's Supper and went on telling stories of the faith until dawn. On that note, they left, Paul going one way, the congregation another, leading the boy off alive and full of lives themselves. Hallelujah. Now, Paul is talking and talking and talking and talking. Now, I don't know if y'all ever had a sermon like that where somebody is, the preacher just going on and on and on and on. The young man, I know Paul was excited. He was really excited. This is his third and final missionary trip. You know, and he's got his other friends there, and he's talking about all the good work they've been doing. The Gentiles have been doing, his Gentile friends, and telling all those ones who were Jewish about the good work. But he got so excited, but the excitement didn't flow to everybody. And I'm pretty sure that during this time here, that Eutychus was tired. He was tired. You have to understand that this was also, in this particular city, is the city of Troas. Troas is part of Turkey, that is today. And also, Troas is where they also came up with the Trojan horse, the gift. It's from that same city where, if you're familiar with that particular story, where they had the Trojan horse as a ways to Helen of Troy came there and they launched 1,000 ships based off of that one Trojan horse, right? That was one gift, that present, that meant death to others. What is your present doing? Is your presence healing somebody or is it killing somebody? And I'm pretty sure Eutychus, like I said, he was there, he was tired, and because it was under Roman government, they had to work during the daytime. So a lot of them were slaves, and so they just couldn't get the Sunday Sabbath off. They had to do some work. And so the service was at the evening time. And here you have Paul, who is excited about his message. You know what it says in that scripture? Your body is willing. I mean, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? And I'm pretty sure Eutychus, he wanted to be in the number. But the body was tired, right? But there's several lessons that we can gain just from this one particular passage about how to be present with the present in the present. First off, don't take the present for granted. See, the present was there because they were gathering not only on a Sunday, But they had all of the fellow believers there too. And it was also the Lord's Supper, which was, as somebody's told me, which I found so beautiful, a love feast. The Lord's Supper as the love feast. Because God gave Himself so that we could be free and free indeed. And as a way to commemorate, that's some kind of other kind of love right there. But yet still we take that same kind of love for granted. And I'm going to mix in some of the scripture about love, the definition of love in our scripture today, in our sermon. It says love is patient. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know about you, but I haven't been so patient these last few months. Have you? You waiting on the parking lot for somebody? Somebody take your space? Have you been that patient? I'm pretty sure somebody said some few choice words here and there. Says that love is kind and it doesn't boast. Love is kind and love doesn't boast. Have you been boasting about your own self lately? And back to being present with the present in the present. Eutychus was in that same upper room, and you know what was fascinating about the upper room? It was well lit. It was well lit. Now they said that they wanted to light the rooms up there because they wanted people to know that they weren't hiding. These disciples weren't hiding in secret. Because when you got the love of the Lord on you, some things you just can't hide in the dark. But it says, keep your upper room lit. I want us all to keep our upper room lit. Well lit. In our minds and in our hearts is our upper room. The upper room doesn't necessarily have to be in a building here. It's wherever you go. Now, have you been having your upper room darkened? Are you not being intentional about lighting some candles? By reading the word? By showing up? By praying for somebody? And who's here getting sleepy already? Somebody's getting sleepy already. Oh, you getting sleepy? Oh, no. Eutychus is already in the building. That's all right. That's all right, because there's been times that I've been a Eutychus. And when I'm saying about a Eutychus in the building, I'm not only talking about how somebody is getting so bored with the word that they become literally bored to death. But where you have positioned yourself in the window. In the window. Now, Eutychus, of all places, why are you going to be in the window? And you tired. And why didn't he get up and start walking around and saying, you know what, I know, hey, I got to get up out here. Why? We're laughing, but there's been times that I have been a Eutychus. Where I have been in, but I'm not all in. Come on now. Now let me say that one more time. You can be in the building, but you can also be out the building at the same time. That's right. That's right. Come on now. And you know the thing that was so surprising about that was, where was his friends at? Where was his friends? Now, if he saw, somebody had to be. Now, I know Paul probably was very moving and very rousing and all that. But Where are your people to not even look at you and say, you know what, sister girl, brother, you look like you about to fall out the window. But that is our gift to our brothers and sisters. That's how you be present with the present in the present. If you see your brother and sister nodding off, come and get your brother and sister out the window. But that also goes with the preacher too. Because Paul, I know that he was all into it. But he should have been at some point present enough to see that somebody was on the edge of impending death. And as as leaders, we are also called to be looking out for those ones that's sitting in the window seat. And like I said, I have been in the window sill. I was showing up. But I wasn't really showing up. And some people saw me in the window. Some people saw me in the window. But some people weren't bold enough to tell me I was in the window. They saw me nodding off. But I thank God that there was somebody who did see me in the window, see me nodding off and say, hey, girl, you need to get on out of that window. But God is such a miraculous God that even if you fall out the window, like you kids fell out the window, the miracle of life was still there. He wasn't a goner. When he fell from the third floor, Paul stopped what he did, was doing about preaching. That's what I'm talking about, being present with the present in the present. See, sometimes you get so focused on ministry that you're not doing ministry. You get so focused in ministry that you're not doing ministry. Because ministry is not only in these four walls. Ministry might be, Deacon Nanette, I need to come over here and give you some food today. Let me check on you. I hadn't seen you in a while. That's ministry. Are you being present? Attentive? Intentional? With the present, the gift. Bishop Ross, a gift. You, a gift. You and you and you, a gift. At this moment in the present. And you know what? It doesn't take long to tell the truth. That's right. But it takes a lifetime to live the truth. Yeah. Come on now. Yes, indeed, Brad. Lord. See, Paul just kept on talking all through midnight and kept on talking. But he lost sight that there were people losing their sight. Yeah. And there are some people that are been sitting in the windowsill, sitting on the fringes in our ministry, within our midst. And because we feel like they chose the wrong seat, that we don't help them find another seat. And yes, we make a choice to be out there on the windowsill. Sometimes we do make the choice to be on the windowsill. But God is calling us all back. All back. And it starts with love. And just in case you don't know what love is, I'm going to read this one more time so that you'll know this. That love is patient. See, God's love was so patient that he went down and made sure that Eutychus was all right. Love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It's not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It doesn't rejoice at wrongdoings, but it rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. So I encourage you this holiday season, not only this holiday season, but every day, to be present. See, some of you got some family members, biological and spiritual family members, that you have not been intentional with. And they have been a gift to you. And even the sandpaper people. And now let me say about that. The sandpaper people, those people that rub you the wrong way. Wrong way. But they are a gift. Because every time I have a sandpaper person in my life, they are helping smooth out all my rough edges. All right, man. Come on. So they're a gift. That's right. And be present with them in the present. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't keep waiting. Because tomorrow is not even promised to us. The next hour is not even promised to us. So I encourage you, if you see a Eutychus in your life, help them out. If you're a Eutychus, I encourage you to get your own self together and get out the window seat. And if you are called to be the leader, be looking for the Eutychus in your midst. Come on now. And just know that sometimes you don't have to keep on talking and talking all day long. But you keep on living and living and living all day long and living with the love of God in your heart. That is better than any scripture anybody else could ever read. Be a walking billboard for Christ. And I just encourage you, once again, to be present with the present in the present.